Welcome! I'm glad you have decided to create your own portfolio of stock strategies using the stock picking method. This lesson is about data, but before I show you how to download and set up the data, let's explain how StrategyQuant X and Algo Cloud, which we will be working with in this course, are related. StrategyQuant is a desktop application used to develop strategies. It is used for building, testing, optimizing, and analyzing performance. It is an environment designed primarily for strategy development. Algo Cloud, on the other hand, is a web platform that allows you to test, trade, and manage strategies. It is a trading platform, the only one of its kind, that supports fully automated stock picking trading. Simply put, StrategyQuant X is a development environment and Algo Cloud is an environment for managing and operating strategies. Next, you need to know what stock picking is. Stock picking trading is an approach to trading where we actively select specific stocks in which we want to invest instead of buying an entire index, such as the S&P 500. It has been around for decades, but with the advent of Algo Cloud, stock picking has come accessible to ordinary traders and not just big institutions. Unlike forex or CFDs, we trade real stocks, not derivatives. We trade on daily charts without intraday noise, where strategies use pure daily prices, open, high, low, and close. And we focus on long-term stable trends. The goal is to capture large movements, not just short-term fluctuations. We hold actual shares, so there are no overnight swaps or margin calls. This makes it possible to spread the risk across multiple markets and sectors, while trading takes place with less psychological pressure. We don't have to watch the market every minute. Why daily data? Daily data has a proven statistical advantage in the long term. It better captures real market trends and eliminates random noise. It is easier to understand and it's ideal for beginners. In addition, we have more than 30 years of historical data available, which allows us to perform high-quality backtests and build robust strategies. Stock markets are also regulated and transparent, so the data are reliable and verified. As a result, stock strategies show higher reliability and more stable result over time. And even though we trade daily charts, we can make decisions 3 times a day: before the markets open, when the market opens, and when the market closes. At Algo Cloud, we have access to more than 12,000 stocks and ETFs, so you can choose from a huge number of markets and sectors. When it comes to data, they are downloaded with a single click directly in StrategyQuant. The entire process is automated because we have turned a complex solution for funds and professional traders into a simple click for everyone. In Algo Cloud, data are downloaded automatically. The data are back adjusted and includes historical changes in the constituents of individual indexes. So for example, with the S&P 500, you can see how its composition has changed over the years. It also includes adjustments for splits and dividends, so it's immediately ready for testing. And most importantly, there are no hidden fees for the data. Everything is part of the system and completely free to use. Now let's talk a little more about stock groups. Stock groups bring a new perspective to market analysis. Instead of testing one stock at a time, a single strategy can track the entire market at once and automatically select the best opportunities. We have been developing this approach for over a year to achieve extreme calculation speed. So today, backtests that used to take tens of minutes take a few seconds now. The entire system is optimized for speed and efficiency, so you can instantly test hundreds of combinations and parameters. Now, I will show you how to download data into StrategyQuant and also how to set the backtest commission correctly so that the results correspond to real trading conditions. Open StrategyQuant and go to the Data Manager tab. Here you can see that some default data has already been downloaded. For stock picking, we will be interested in the Stock Groups tab, where you will find some preset stock groups: Dow Jones, Nasdaq 100, Russell 1000, Russell 2000, S&P 500, and so on. This column shows how many stocks each group contains. Here you can see that the data has not been downloaded, is not ready for use, and needs to be updated. How? It's very simple. Just check the groups you want to download and click on the Update Data in Group button, and the data will start downloading. After a while, you will see that the data has been downloaded and you now have data for the entire history of these 3 stock groups. Let's show how to download some ETFs too. ETF data is downloaded here in the Data tab, where you filter the relevant ETFs. One ETF has been downloaded within the stock group, so let's add another one. Here, click Find Data via the StrategyQuant Data button. And let's download, for example, SPY, which is an ETF for the S&P 500 index. Click on Lookup button, wait for the results, and select the appropriate ETF. Here, you have to leave timestamp is end of bar time enabled and leave the data time zone set to exchange. Confirm the conditions and click on Add. Next, we can also download data for Nasdaq QQQ.D. Search for it and add it just like before. And finally, let's try Dow Jones, which is DIA.D. So we have our tickers here, and now we select all three that we added, and we need to download the data into them. We do this using the same StrategyQuant Data button, but now we select Update. After a few seconds, you will see the downloaded data, so you can work with it. Now let's show you how to set up commissions for developing stock strategies. Development takes place in the Builder section, Full Settings, Data tab. Here we have the commission settings. I click on the gear icon and select the commission for a stock picker. And here we set any commissions. Like, of course, the amount of the commission depends on how each broker has it set up, because it's different for each broker. I set it accordingly to my broker, Alpaca, which has 0 commissions, but has a FINRA fee per share, which is 1/10,000th of a dollar per share. So I set 1/10,000th here. And then I set the minimum commission in dollars per position here. This means that if I had a position of 10,000 shares, I would pay about $1 in commissions. So here I put a minimum of 1/10th of a dollar and a maximum of $1 per position. And please don't forget to switch the last field to dollars. That said, 1/10,000th of a dollar per share, and for testing, we will leave the minimum commission at 1/10th of a dollar and the maximum at $1. This setting is used when we build strategies using genetics. If you want to create strategies manually, you would enter a new strategy for stock picker here in the Algo Wizard tab, and you would go to Settings. Here you have the commission settings, just like before, and again choose stock picker, and you set it up in exactly the same way. 1/10,000th of a dollar per share, a minimum of 1/10th of a dollar, and a maximum of $1 for the entire position. And just like this, you have your data and commission settings configured. See you next lesson.